Facebook is under fire for a privacy scandal. Reports say a data mining firm connected to the Trump campaign swiped the data of more than 50 million Facebook users. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has apologized and may be called to testify before a House committee. In Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has detailed how Russian trolls use social media to stoke racial divisions in Milwaukee and Madison. We're talking more about this now with Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel Capitol reporter Jason Stein, who is at our Madison affiliate WKOW-TV. Jason, it's good to have you with us today. And in a nutshell, what exactly were the Russians doing?
Well, it looked like that they were trying to, more than anything, sow division and tension across the country, boost certain political candidates, but above all, in swing states like, Wisconsin, Ohio, North Carolina, use police shootings and other events that spark racial tension to try and pit Americans against one another.
And how were they doing this exactly, Jason?
It was really like when there was an event that was a tragic or just a divisive event, it was like ringing a dinner bell for these folks. So in the case of the Sherman Park unrest in Milwaukee, August 2016, you had a police shooting there. You had unrest in the neighborhood. Within hours, you had Russian trolls promoting, inaccurate and divisive information about what was happening in Milwaukee and getting some pickup for it. They got more than 5,000 retweets, which is obviously not an easy thing to do.
And they were playing, I think your reporting over the last couple of weeks on this has demonstrated that the Russians were sort of trying to play both sides of the racial tension.
Yeah, that's accurate. So, in the case of the Sherman Park riots, they really were pushing disinformation and hate against Black Lives Matter activists and being very critical of them. But in other cases, I found that they also played the other side of the equation. So in a police shooting in Ohio, a Russian linked Twitter account actually put out information saying that the victim had been shot in the back by police when that wasn't true.
Jason, when we talk about Russians doing this, who are we talking about specifically? Do we know?
That's a great question. So what we're talking about here there are thousands of accounts that have been identified by Twitter or by special counsel Robert Mueller in his investigation as being linked to the Internet Research Agency. That's a shadowy group in St. Petersburg, Russia, that was active in the elections. And we used an NBC News archive of tweets from these accounts to find how they had played in Wisconsin and other states, including one of the accounts that was named in the Mueller indictment was active in the Sherman Park unrest in Milwaukee.
Yeah, okay, so we know this now that the Russians were attempting to inflame racial division. We've seen Senator Baldwin, we've seen Governor Walker, we've seen the former Obama administration Attorney General Eric Holder all call for an investigation. They want Congress to look at this. Where do things stand right now?
Just recently here in the last couple of days, Senator Baldwin has written to Senator John Thune, the chairman of the Senate Commerce Committee, to ask him to use that committee's sort of oversight over social media and other commerce to look into this question. There's not been a definitive answer that I've seen from Senator Thune's office on that. Eric Holder also called last week in Madison for having the FBI look into this. Obviously, the FBI is not in the habit of telling reporters about what they're investigating. So, we don't know one way or another if that's something that federal officials are looking at on the criminal side.
Jason Stein covers the state capitol and more for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Jason, we appreciate your time today. Thanks very much for being with us.
Always good to be with you, Mike.
And state Republicans are cheering the state's 2.9% unemployment rate. Coming up next on Upfront, why there's also another number they should be watching.